Get Zach to do it. All right, here we go.
It's nice to see you. Hi.
Heather Rosa Finch.
Hi, Michael.
How are you?
I'm good. Yes.
I'd like to call to order the, I guess I get to tap us in. I'd like to call to order the organizational meeting of January 13th, 2026. Standing as you're able, we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by our very own Zachary Castor.
All right. Yep. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, justice for all. Yep.
Good job, Zachary. As you may or may not remember, if you're adherent, you've read policy 0151. This is our organizational meeting. I'd like to entertain a motion that the Board of Education elect Darcy Berwick as a temporary chairperson or presiding officer to serve until such time as a president is elected per policy 0151. Do we have a motion to do that?
So I can make that motion. Oh, sorry.
Jennifer Stebbin has made the motion.
Second.
Second, Lauren Gold. Thank you very much. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Well, a whole 7-0. Great. Darcy will initiate a call for, I'll just read this whole thing. After a call for nominations or self-nominations, a public vote will be cast. The Open Meetings Act prohibits voting procedures that prevent citizens from knowing how members of the school board have voted. Once elected, the president will continue to, or the newly elected president will continue to elect officers in the same manner in the order noted below. When called upon, any remaining board members may nominate another board member for each position. And Darcy, if you don't mind, or Secretary Berwick, I do have a quick note I'd like to say before we call out for any nominations. So those of you who've worked with me over the last 3 years that I've served as board president know how seriously I take the duties and how much time I spend on them behind the scenes. So with several time-consuming projects coming up in my professional life, as well as some milestones in my personal life, including my daughter's wedding, which is kind of neat, I have concluded that I will really not have the time necessary to effectively serve in the role of board president. So in order to ease the transition to a new president, I spoke with several trustees to canvass their interest in the job and the availability in taking on the position in 2026. As a result of those conversations tonight, I would like to nominate Trustee Tim Austin for the role of board president. So that's for you, Darcy Berwick, the first nomination.
So I guess I'll open up the floor for nominations.
Please do, please do.
Yep. So we're looking first for nominations for president.
Nominations or self-nominations?
And you're going to nominate Tim Austin.
I've already done that, yep.
Okay, I think we're going to close that then, and let's take a vote, and then you guys are going to pass me your pieces of paper, and I will read them out loud.
I don't know if I have to remind all the board members that we all have a duty to vote. We can. You're not part of this. You get to watch. And once the election is done, Darcy, you pass over to Tim or whoever. It looks like it's going to be Tim.
I think it's going to be Tim. Potentially. All right. How can I drag out the suspense like the Golden Globes?
Oh
Okay. For President Tim Austin, Lauren Gold, Jennifer Stebbin, Michael McVeigh, Jason Tizides, Nate Hansen, Tim Austin, and Darcy Berwick. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Tim. Now, the chair is yours. Give me 2 seconds to move my computer, and then we can... Well, we could wait until after the organizational meeting, but from here on in, you're running the show.
So now we will take nominations for vice president, and I will nominate Jennifer Stebbin for that.
Okay. I'd like to nominate Lauren Gold.
I'm gonna decline that.
Decline? Okay.
Thank you, but no thank you.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Any others? Okay. Okay, so I guess we can vote then, and Jennifer is, okay, so Michael McVeigh, Jennifer Stebbin, Jennifer Stebbin, Jason Tisdez, Jennifer Stebbin, Lauren Gold, Jennifer Stebbin, Nate Hansen, Jennifer Stebbin, Tim Austin, Jennifer Stebbin, and Darcy Berwick, Jennifer Stebbin. So Jennifer Stebbin will be the vice president. Jennifer Stebbin. Okay, so now we will take nominations for secretary, or self-nominations.
I would like to nominate Darcy Berwick for secretary, or current secretary.
Any others? Okay, so we can vote for Darcy Berwick. Yeah, it's not, I'm gonna read it out loud anyways. Jason Tisdez, Darcy Berwick, Lauren Gold, Darcy Berwick, Jennifer Stebbin, Darcy Berwick, Michael McVeigh, Darcy Berwick, Nate Hansen, Darcy Berwick, Darcy Berwick, and Tim Austin, Darcy Berwick. So Darcy Berwick will be our secretary. And lastly, the treasurer, nominations for treasurer.
I would like to nominate Michael McVeigh.
I will not decline. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Any others? No? Okay, so. For treasurer, we have Michael McVeigh, voting for Michael McVeigh. Jason Tisdez voting for Michael McVeigh. Lauren Gold voting for Michael McVeigh. Jennifer Stebbin voting for Michael McVeigh. Nate Hansen voting for Michael McVeigh. Darcy Berwick voting for Michael McVeigh. And Tim Austin. So our treasurer will be Michael McVeigh.
You have some notes for me.
Yeah, we can get together. Okay, so can I have a recommended motion to adjourn the organizational meeting of January 13th, 2026 at
So moved,
6:39.
McVeigh.
Second, Berwick.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, hearing.
And a quick note to thank Darcy Berwick for her wonderful efforts as presiding officer. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Do you want to just dive right? Oh, let's move. Should we dive right in, or do we need a bio break or anything?
I just want to add that I think our AP Gov students should come to the organizational meetings. I'm going to be speaking with the teacher about that be the preference for, I think that's a great experience in government and governance. So thanks for being here.
And they can, if you stay long enough, you can count this as 2 meetings. Because this is officially, the first meeting is over. Score.
Thank you, everyone, for voting for me, and bear with me as I get my feet wet again in this role. Yeah. So I'd like to call to order the regular Board of Education meeting, January 13th, 2026, at 6:41. Public comment. A member of the public may address the board briefly for up to 3 minutes or request to be scheduled on a agenda for a future meeting. Please note that students will be given priority to speak on any topic. The first public participation portion of the meeting will be limited to a 1/2 hour, 30 minutes normally, and limited to agenda items. The second public participation portion will be offered at the end of the agenda to allow for other comments. Individuals addressing the board should take into consideration the rules of common courtesy. The public participation portion of the meeting cannot be used to make personal attacks against board members, district employees, and students. Do we have any? I don't think we have any. Okay. Revisions and approval of the agenda. A recommended motion to approve the agenda as printed or revised. I would like to revise the agenda and add a discussion item after action items, and that would just be a quick discussion on committees, about committees. Yep.
Tim, in addition to that, could I revise and swap action item A and action item E? And I would talk to the president about this ahead of time normally. I talked to Rachel because I didn't know who the president would be. Item E is with our friend, Mr. Grossman, who is celebrating his anniversary tonight, and I'd like to get him to dinner.
Okay, so that will be E, and that will be A.
Thank you.
I'm okay with those. Everybody else, any motion on that?
And I can make the motion for the
Revised.
revised, yeah.
Excuse me, Vice President Steppen, I didn't hear the rationale or what was going on with that. It was pretty low.
Yep, so we're keeping all action items, but we're swapping item A and item E. So Jake Grossman would go first because tonight's his wedding anniversary and he's headed to dinner. Yep. Yep.
Do we have a second for that?
Sure, I'll second.
Those two. Yep.
Berwick.
Berwick. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. 7.
Did we complete the motion to add the item that you wanted to add?
That was part of the motion. Yep, to revise, yep. Okay, administrative and board committee updates. Superintendent Kowalski.
Thank you very much, Board President Austin. It's been a wonderful month since we all last gathered together and had a public board meeting. I just want to, share that next day, right, we had our first snow day. So fittingly to the delight of many students, including the Saline High School varsity boys basketball team, as you might remember, if you were at that meeting, they wanted that day. So we had a lot of winter weather, of course, during break, but none since then. I do want to just thank our entire district for the cherished traditions and meaningful send-offs prior to break. But as we've returned across the district, we've continued to operate with student-centered and with resilience and lots of positivity. Lots of great things happening in classrooms, in schools and buildings. I've seen this strong and focused start with a focus on goals. So whether they're shooting hoops or for a math worksheet, I noticed lots of goal-oriented students last week. Before break, though, I had the opportunity to share some conversation with our young adult program at Liberty here. I also had a little reminder with our alternative students that coffee is much needed in the morning before talking to high schoolers. And on that note, the secondary families in our community should be expecting a survey in the coming weeks, just getting their insights and experiences on alternative programming as we continue to learn more about the needs of our students and families. This last week or so, I wanted to give a shout out to Pleasant Ridge. Our visit there was delightful last week. They had a wax museum, of which we had not intended to go see. I saw not just one, but two Taylor Swifts. So two Taylor Swifts, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Elvis, and several brilliant scientists that seem to be a common wax museum character as well. As a calendar reminder to our families, there's no school next Monday in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. In recognition of that day, I look forward to spending some time with community members, including some students. We put an opportunity out to our families to join me for some service with Saline Area Social Services. It filled up very quickly, which we were really excited to see because we have a great community focus on service and kindness. January is School Board Recognition Month. I'd like to take a moment this now and, of course, continuing in our celebration of you at our next board meeting to talk about this voluntary and tireless work that you do. It requires commitment, thoughtful leadership, and many do not understand the full-time nature of some of the things you do in this role. I'd invite the public in our community to join at a short reception. We're going to have fancy water. I know everyone likes when I say that. And Betty shared today that we'll have cookies, wonderful cookies. And so instead of cake, but cookies will be great. And so everyone's welcome to come and recognize you as you continue to navigate complex issues and investing a lot of significant time in professional learning and the future of our district. On that note, I want to express my sincere appreciation to Dr. Michael McVeigh for his support of me and my transition to Saline Area Schools as superintendent. As a former sitting superintendent, each board and community is different, and I appreciate very much his commitment to myself as a professional. And welcome, Tim Austin. You've been incredibly warm to myself and my family, and look forward to your continued leadership in the district. Most importantly, and lastly, I want to express how grateful I am to work alongside you as part of a team, and as evident by the wonderful collaboration and leadership tonight. I just appreciate your commitment to children and your focus on moving forward together and the future. So thank you very much. That's my update for this evening.
Citizens of Quality Community. McVeigh.
Thank you. We'll be meeting next on Thursday, January 22nd, so nothing to report today.
Chamber of Commerce, nothing to report. Foundation of Saline Area Schools.
Yep, we had our monthly meeting today, and I have some notes to share. So firstly, on February 20th, we will be having the Dueling Pianos fundraising event again. It's at Weber's this year because Trappist Point is under construction, so we're looking forward to seeing it in a new venue. It was super fun last year, raised a whole lot of money for our district grants, for teacher grants and building grants. The tickets are currently $85 per person, which includes some food and some adult or non-alcoholic beverages. So that's a pretty good deal. It will be going up, I think, in a couple of weeks, so I'd get those tickets now, and that's at 7 p.m. on February 20th. I know our younger kiddos want to hear when their open houses are, so our young fives and kindergarten open houses will occur as planned. So that's May 6th at Woodland Meadows, May 13th at Pleasant Ridge, May 20th at Harvest, and there's going to be a really fun, Rachel, what's the official name? Saline Resource Fair.
That's Resource Fair, and just something new we're doing to welcome all of our community families and potentially some folks that are looking at us for school of choice options.
And that's February 5th? February 5th. So, and it's all over social media right now, so check that out. On the financial side, I wanted to let you know that we are up from our fiscal year last year. So our sponsorship and our donations are currently sitting at $107,000 this year, and that's up from $93,000 last year, so that's doing really well. Our employee contributions are also around $8,000 of that. And I think that that really shows the investment from our staff in our district home. And I think that's really impressive. And I just wanted to specifically call them out and thank them for that and for that giving back. It's really, really acknowledged and recognized and appreciated. On our grants update, we budgeted $110,000 this year, and about 70-ish K has been used. That means there is more money for grants. So teachers, staff members, if you're looking for creative projects or you have an idea for the building, check out the Foundation for Saline Area Schools website for more information. That's it.
Board associations?
Right. The Washtenaw Association of School Boards is going to be meeting on January 22nd at 7 p.m. They're also having their own organizational meeting that night. I get to stay on because I'm past president. So legislative breakfast is going to be held Monday, January 26th. If you can make it up at the WISD offices at 7:30 in the morning, that'd be great. I saw Dr. Kowalski there, I think it was like your first week here almost. We have had almost all of our state senators and House members come, and sometimes even our Debbie Dingle shows up sometimes. And that's it for that.
Thank you. Sex Education Advisory Board?
Yeah, the Sex Education Advisory Board chairs will be presenting on the first legally required hearing during our next regularly scheduled board meeting. We're looking at the 3 R's, so rights, responsibility, and I just blanked on the third R, respect curriculum. And so I think this is really important for our students, and I would welcome the community to come out or watch so that we can start the process of getting our high schoolers a more up-to-date, inclusive curriculum. Yeah, and then I don't know if Dr. McVeigh will have anything to say about DEI, but since he's next with DEI committee, I'd like to echo the thanks for his leadership and the time involved in being president over the last 3 years, and his dedication to our students and staff.
I appreciate that. I did have a question about the SEAB. Are they having their second meeting, the second presentation been chosen yet?
To my knowledge, that date's not chosen, but
That has not been chosen yet, actually. We'll get you some preliminary information for the first, and we'll monitor for feedback and stakeholder feedback and continue along those lines as we collect it.
Because I know sometimes they've had comments as to why should we have it during the board meeting. Sometimes we should have it on a non-board meeting night, and I'm just curious. Thank you. I'm sure we'll all know when it comes up. Thank you.
well, that's certainly feedback I could take, to the chairs, and we could discuss.
The DEI Advisory Committee? Oh, just,
The-
well,
Specify the next meeting as Wednesday, January 28th, if I'm still on that committee.
I was sort of tossing it to you. I don't have much to report except for that they're working at that next meeting on the 3-year, a 3-year vision. So.
wellness?
Instead of ping-ponging, I'm going to say no updates for wellness and no real updates for CARES, except that the submission deadline is coming up quickly, and they will meet in February to discuss.
City of Saline, is there any?
Yeah,
update?
we haven't met properly yet. Now that we have a new council elected, they can decide who's going to be on that committee. Plus, I would like to work with the mayor to get a charter going for that particular committee, so we have an understanding of agendas, meeting times, the scope of our discussions, that sort of thing. And that's where we are right now with that.
Any other board comments? Nothing? Okay. We'll move into action items. So, action item A, recommended motion to approve the purchase of $435,812.59 for a new building access control system from Sentinel Technologies as submitted by Jay Grossman, Director of Technology. This system will replace our current access controls in all buildings and include the installation costs as well.
So move Stebbin.
Second, Tizities?
Hi. First off, thank you. I appreciate it. My wife appreciates it too. 3 years feels like 30. So it's in a good way. Yeah, I know. That's okay. Love you, honey. Thank you very much if you're watching at home. Feel like I'm beat red right now. So yes, we've gone out to bid. It's time now that in our bond projects to replace and update our access control system. So we did receive a number of qualified bids. It came down to a couple. What we're electing to go with is the one that we feel is going to be the best and integrate the best with our current system. So with your approval, we would like to go ahead and move forward with the purchase of this and get it installed. We will be starting if all goes well, we'll be starting a pilot at Pleasant Ridge over spring break to make sure everything is working, and then we will have everything else installed over this summer to be ready to go for the 26-27 school year.
Any questions?
And does this system replace the kiosk systems that we have in right now?
No, so this, a great question, and sorry, I'm getting used to looking.
Or is it
over
all
here.
the stuff that's going on behind the scenes?
It's the
software
badge
behind-
readers.
Just
So
the
when
badge
when you
readers.
use your badge to get into the doors, we're replacing all those badge readers. We'll actually be getting new encrypted badges. So these current ones are not very secure. They people can clone them and use them, not the actual card holder. So these new encrypted badges and badge readers will up our security, protecting us a little bit more. And then so we're going to replace all the badge readers, the control systems behind all that, as well as the system.
Jason?
So it's replacing all the readers. Are we adding any additional open close sensors to any of the doors in addition to that?
Great question. I did send out a poll to all the administrators and asked them for their feedback. So based on what they've requested, we're going to be adding some readers, some open close sensors on some of the doors that they have identified as being their highest priorities. I asked them to limit it to 5 per building as their top priorities, and then we're going to meet at our next safety and security meeting to go over how many of those we can actually do, which ones make sense. But based on the feedback I have, we should be able to cover all of them.
Anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right.
Me and Jason.
Yeah, Jason, yeah, Jennifer, and then Jason. Okay, can we have a recommended motion to approve the following new course to be added to the 26-27 Saline High School course catalog as submitted by Kara Davis, Executive Director of Teaching and Learning, and it's sports performance.
Support Hanson.
Second, Tizities?
Any questions?
I just had a comment. I wanted to thank Kara for all the additional information. I don't think I responded to your email because it's been busy at work, but I did read it all and appreciate it.
No other questions? All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries 7-0. Okay, can we have a recommended motion to approve the appointment of Miranda Owsley, Jackie Martin, Sarah Gallagher, to the local access cable television board as submitted by Superintendent Kowalski?
Sure, Berwick.
Second, Stebbin.
Any questions on that? No. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Okay, this is the long one. Can I have a recommended motion to approve the recommendations from Clark Construction in conjunction with Saline Area Schools and King Scott to enter into contracts with each trade contractor as listed below for the total amount of $6,551,758 as submitted by Rex Clary, the Executive Director of Operations. Blue Star, $109,000. Carpentry Concepts, $285,000. Siemens Construction, $220,450. Navata Mason Contractors, $506,000. Zach Welding and Custom Works, $183,300. Carpentry Concept for $769,400. CEI Michigan for $449,640. J.D. Chandler Roofing Company, $87,500. Butcher and Butcher Construction, $397,942. Carpentry Concepts for $173,900. DE Flooring Covering, $85,429. Artistic Tile and Stone, $27,000. Consi Painting, $46,550. Professional Sprinklers, $165,980. Adrian Mechanical Services, $346,000. Monroe Plumbing and Heating, $1,322,600. Vertitary Contracting, $549,669. A construction contingency to Clark Construction for 7% and that is $578,129. In construction field, general contractors, 3%. Clark Construction, that's for $247,770 for a total of $651,758. I can see why Michael gave up the presidency.
So moved, McVeigh. Thank you, appreciate that. It's sometimes tough, especially when you throw zeros in the middle of those numbers.
I'll second that.
So, good evening and thank you. So I want to thank Clark Construction for breaking these, they bid these categories. We've got good bid coverage in most, if not all, categories. Unfortunately, we were unable to bring electrical to you tonight. We only had one qualified bid that was submitted, and we chose not to open it. We want to be stewards of the money. We want to have competitive bids. We want to have more than one. So we are currently rebidding that. We're looking at scope. We're redesigning the scope, eliminating some things to try to get more bidders to submit bids for the electrical, and we're also finalizing landscaping as well. But the big one is electrical. We hope to have it rebid by the 29th, and then this project will be completed, completely bidded at least. So.
I did see that the electrical didn't have coverage. That's now the second, right?
Yes, we've done this twice. Again, we only received one qualified bid. There is some competition in the area.
Yes.
That's requiring a lot of electricians, not just what's happening west of town, but also U of M, University of Michigan. Other schools have passed bonds as well. Chelsea only received 2 bids on their last project. This is a smaller project, but yet because of the budget number of what that bid is, we can't go with one bid. We have to have competitive bids. So.
Yeah, I appreciate you being diligent about that. I hopefully we can get the coverage to keep projects going. Any other questions?
I have 2. The first one is, are we individually contracting with all these, or is it all falling under Clark Construction as one contract, or are they all individual contracts?
They are all individual contracts.
Okay.
Yep.
And Carpentry Concepts appears 3 times, I'm assuming for 3 different projects.
Yes, 3 different categories.
Okay.
So they are doing general trades, which is what they had for the middle school right now. They're doing ceilings and partitions as part of this, and they're also doing some flat work as part of this project. We've also talked to them about teaming up with an electrician to submit a bid. So one thing we're looking at, Carpentry Concepts started working with us in 2017. They are a proven contractor, reputable. Financials are good, risk is low, necessary all the documents. They're doing a great job. They also do one-off projects for us. The smaller projects that we don't necessarily run through bond, but we may run through sinking fund. So they've been an excellent contractor and an excellent partner for the district. Since 2017 was their first job. So yes, they have 3 different categories, and he likes working in Saline. It's a Livonia-based company, but he's been very aggressive on his bids, so.
Any other, Darcy? No? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, hearing none, motion carries 7-0.
And when when our person necessarily failed, but when harvest happened, Jimmy, Carpenter Concept picked up the pieces from the demolition contractor that kind of left us high and dry. So I really think Carpenter Concepts is a great contractor. So
Okay, can I have a recommended motion to appoint Board Recording Secretary Betty Yankee, Darcy Berwick, Board Secretary, and Superintendent Rachel Kowalski as, to serve as the board designee for posting legal notices?
So moved, McVeigh.
I would like to second, and I would like to note that Betty does a remarkable job on the minutes and makes it seem easy.
Thanks. And that was Darcy Berwick. Any questions on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, hearing none, motion carries 7-0. And then the last one. Oops, recommended motion to approve the closed session meeting minutes of December 9th, 2025, for the purpose of superintendent evaluations, section 8A. I'll move that. A second on that?
Tizities?
Is everybody all set on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries 6-0.
And I'll abstain.
Yep. Okay, and so then we're going to add the discussion item in after action item, and that's the committees. Looking over the committees, you know, we have some there that I don't know, sometimes they change from year to year, sometimes they don't really change much. I have seen some leave and some come on in the last few years. I would like to make some room for a couple more, and I don't know if we feel that there are any committees that we don't need. We can think about it. We don't have to make this decision right now. You know, I'm kind of thinking more along like, do we need a CQC, Saline Chamber, City of Saline, those kind of things? I mean, we can discuss the City of Saline, what you kind of have in mind there, Michael. I don't know. If we do, we do, and I'll assign people to those committees. But if we think we can maybe do without some of those, then, you know, we'll do without them. And then as far as the other committees, I'm kind of working right now with Rachel on a couple ideas that I have to bring to the table for some other committees. But I will look to assign people to the finance and the policy right away so we can get those meetings scheduled and move forward. Any comments or ideas on that?
Thanks for taking feedback.
Say the team's looking forward to getting a policy and finance committee scheduled. So lots of conversations and looking forward to getting those committee members so we can get some work started. And thank you for acknowledging that. We talked about our strategic planning that we've already began some work on. And so would love to continue conversations and hear what the board has in mind for that.
So under the consent agenda, I recommend a motion to authorize the consent agenda as printed. I guess I should read up above. The consent agenda is listed in the agenda and will not be read aloud. The motion noted will allow for the authorization of all listed items without discussion unless a member of the board requests that any one of these or all be considered individually. So a recommended motion to authorize the consent agenda as printed.
So moved.
Second, Berwick.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries 7-0. Items scheduled on the next agenda, we have the Pleasant Ridge Student Showcase. Yes, a reception and recognition of the Board of Education month, and the SEAB public hearing number 1, proposed updates for the high school adolescent health program. Anything else?
Nope, that is a list I had as well, and I'm sure there'll be other items, but looking forward to sharing those as work gets done.
Okay, and then public comment, the second public comment. Do we have any of those? I don't think we do. Okay. The next Board of Education meeting will be held on January 27th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. We will be entering into closed session. So can I have a motion, recommended motion to enter closed session of the Board of Education at, let's give ourselves like, what do you say, 7:15 or 7:15, and then with the intent to reopen session at 7:45 for the purpose of collective bargaining. 8C of the Open Meeting Act, under Section 8C, a simple majority vote is sufficient to enter into closed session.
So, Stebbin?
Second, Hanson.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Okay, so we're going to go into closed session and we'll reopen, or we'll be in closed session at 7:15.
form over here.
Gotta hit your mic, turn the mic on.
Can I have a recommended motion to adjourn the regular Board of Education meeting on January 13th at 8:08
So
p.m.?
moved, McVeigh.
Second, Berwick.
Berwick. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries 7-0. Thank you.